Hello, members of the league, and welcome to the second episode of 5 Happy Minutes. Take a nice long look at that logo. I've got to give props every week to Hurricane Eric Hemholt for setting that up for me. There's your credit, and now we're going to turn that off, and we're going to flip over to me. So, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully, there's some of you watching live. I believe there were a few jumping in there. Don't forget that you can post questions. Hopefully we'll get some answers for you. If you're watching on YouTube, there is a link right on the screen in the bottom left, and you should be able to click there. It'll take you to the Google Hangouts page and allow you to submit questions for the Q&A. Otherwise, you can just watch on YouTube, or if you're watching later on demand, you can just see if we answered other people's questions. So I had two surprises, what I consider surprises, set up for this show. One of them has come through, and I'm going to kick that off right now. My guest this week is none other than Ditka. We're going to bring him on here a second. There he is. Hello, Derek.
What's up, Roger? Thanks for having me on. I made a little surprise birthday cake for you. For your one year anniversary of being in this year, or in this league. It's been about, I think, 1 year to the week or to the 2 weeks. But hey, if you could blow it out for me, that'd be great.
All right, here we go. All right, 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Perfect. All right. Well, so we've got Derek on this week. I teased with a couple of the guys last week that I might try and get Derek on because we did talk about the first two trades of the three that had happened in the league this year so far. But we did not get to the third trade. And the third trade is kind of interesting because, well, it does involve Derek. It also involves Doug, and allows us to talk a little about Julio Jones. Before we do that, I just want to remind everybody about the Q&A. Don't forget about that. I see a few people have been posting stuff in there, and we'll get to some of those questions hopefully in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start the 5 good minutes for the. Excuse me. Ooh, I'm going to get sued for that. We're going to start the 5 happy minute countdown right now, and we'll go ahead and get started. Just right off the bat, Derek, we're going to jump right into this trade. You obviously have a love-hate relationship with Julio Jones. You loved him, you hated him, you love him again, you picked him up. I figured you could have the floor and explain to everybody your philosophy of cutting him and bringing him back and kind of defend yourself right here to everybody at one time.
Okay, fair question. I guess the way I look at it is I have 4 different rankings that I look at. First of all, the first ranking is like a competition, or if you're competing ranking. Obviously, if you're not competing, there's no way that I would trade for Julio. So, spoiler alert of the year, I am competing this year, and I'm coming for the top prize and nothing less. Last year, I was in the rebuilding. I was looking at the rebuilding rankings. When I look at the rebuilding rankings, I didn't see Julio for $120 worth being up there. I might as well sell him, get more players, and work that way, kind of work a different strategy. If I wasn't able to pull that off, I probably would have gone after Rashad Jennings or Ray Rice or something like that, general, and sign him to 1 year, and I wouldn't be able to have good prospects and good rookies like I did my homework like I did this year. So those are 2 of the rankings that I look at, and the third one is an ESPN Yahoo a Now ranking, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Last year at this time, Josh Gordon was in the top 5. That obviously didn't pan out, and if you even look at it right now, Josh Gordon is even in the top 20, and he's not even playing next year. So that just tells you right there of how little ridiculous that you really can't go off of that right now. And then my favorite ranking, what I love to mix and match in everything that I do, is my 2016 ranking, and that is pre-made custom by me. There's guys in there that you probably don't even heard of yet, but you do some homework, you'll see how it all works. Julio's in the top of that list, but that's obvious stuff. But the trade with Julio, I ended up giving Kindle right away to Doug, just because of the fact that he wanted a lot of my WR2, WR3 receivers. Oops. I wasn't supposed to tell you what the 2016 rankings were. I wish we could delete that.
We're
I gave
live. Ain't nothing like it.
I gave him right because he was one of the oldest guys out of my young guys that I have. He's a very good wide receiver, very cheap, very good contract for his play. But I didn't feel like I needed him on my team. I'd rather have that number one stud that I am looking for. That is a given, and kind of go that way. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to judge and hate the trade that I did, but I remember last year there was tons of trades that I liked, and what Eric did in his rebuilding of the schedule and stuff like that. He had 4 losses last year, and he made it sound like he was undefeated. So anything can happen. I love the fun factor in trading. I think we should keep it that way. I want to see more ridiculous trades. Um,
So you kind of got to start it off on the first big ridiculous trade of the year. Is that what you're saying?
what's that?
You got to start it off on the first big ridiculous trade of the year. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think mine's a ridiculous trade. It would be a very ridiculous if
Fair
I was
enough.
rebuilding rankings, but I'm not. This would be a horrible move. Horrible if I was still in the rebuilding, but I'm not. So now that I'm going off combining my two rankings, my competing and my 2016 rankings, that's where I'm kind of headed off. So, as I like to say, a lot of people are going to play, 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 and the haters gonna hate, 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 hate. All you gotta do is shake, 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 shake it off, shake it off. So
I,
that's where I
I was
stand.
hoping you'd be able to get some Taylor Swift in here, so I'm happy you were able to do that.
That's just kind of how I went about that trade. With a ton of cap room, there is not much else out there. So if I have to look at Doug's team, I don't know if this trade helped him a lot. He already did a trade. He's got LaShawn McCoy taking a big gamble on that one. Lost Graham, lost Julio, and his team was just full of top 10 studs or top 8 studs. And he could go that route again, but he decided to go deeper, and he got himself more cap room, but he's also fighting with a whole bunch of guys that have the same amount of cap room with not big talent out there. So that's just my thought on that trade.
All right. Well, that was perfect timing because our 5 happy minutes has just concluded. So we were able to discuss that one trade. We can always do a little overtime, and I think we're going to do that because we do have some questions popping up in the Q&A section. Some of them are more. There's some comments, some questions. So let me take a look over here and kind of see what we've got. We'll just go to the bottom here. It looks like the commish was chiming in right off the bat. Let's see. Competing for dead last again. I guess he's making that comment while you were defending your trade for Julio. There you go. Perfect. So not really a question, but a comment. So we'll move along with that.
I think I answered that.
Yeah. Well, and we did that. All right. So next question again from the commish. He's really active here, so this is good. We definitely encourage the participation, regardless of who it's from. Let's jump on here. Let's see. So the next comment from the commish says, since you're now trying, why wouldn't you have done the trades that I threw out there, including A.J. Green and other studs? So another team, another owner is kind of getting public with some of the trades that have been offered during the offseason. You can choose whether or not you'd like to comment on that trade that he's mentioning.
I definitely want to comment. When I look at A.J. Green, he's a $95, $93 contract for 2 years. Not bad. But what he wanted back in return was pretty much taking away my going to be awesome contracts. If you look at my 2016 rankings that you're never ever going to see, it would answer that a little bit more. It would answer it a little bit more. It would answer it a little bit better. So you're just going to have to put that question on and ask that in the future.
All right, well, that's what we'll do. Let's take a look here. Now, there's another question. This is actually the question that I was asking before we went live tonight, and that was, did the Dez Bryant video come out? I've just checked the Twitters. I've checked the interwebs. I have not been able to see anything new about the Dez Bryant video. I was very excited when Mike posted something about that coming out of, I think, a Seattle newspaper broke that maybe. Was really hoping. The rumor mill says that Dez Bryant was helping inject human growth hormones into some players. I think Josh Gordon was on that list, and there was somebody else. I can't remember who that was. I'm sure they were all on Eric's team. Exactly. Yeah, they were probably all on Eric's roster. So we'll cut that question out. We've got that there. We're waiting on that. Hopefully they'll wait until just before next week's 5 happy minutes. We'll find out. Let's see here. We've got a comment from the Peanut Gallery. Mike Mostrom again, the commission chiming in. Boo Ditka. I think that was from when you first came on. So I have to apologize for that. But you know what you're getting when you come in. So um, let's take a look here. A lot of the commission here. So I'm not sure. Let's see. Jason Ferguson has chimed in asking if this is where you post comments. He's actually in the comment board and not in a Q&A.
Can I answer
So
that?
if you want to post a, yeah, we'll answer. I'll answer that one. You're in the wrong spot, Jason, but we can still see it. Mike Mostrom commenting that your philosophy is that you want to finish at the bottom of the league every year, plain and simple. I'm guessing he's trying to egg you on a little bit, so we're going to just skip over that. Oh no! Oh, there's a follow-up. This is great. This is like a little arbitrator going on here. Mike has chimed in and says, "False. I asked for 2 prospects for 1 now stud. You said you didn't want to trade future for now. Does that sound right to you?"
He did ask for 2 prospects. Am I allowed to say those guys? Well, one was Freeman, and I like him. I like all the word that's going around right now, and that's why I did draft him where I did. I knew Steven Jackson was not going to play this year. I knew Rogers was on a 1-year contract. Who's their other? Antone Smith. I knew he was 40 years old, and didn't they have another running back? I can't think of offhand. I don't know. I knew they're all going to be off the team. Freeman started on the depth chart at 4, and this year I know he's going to start. There's rumors of Justin Forsett going to the Falcons. I know that the Atlanta's going to get that other receiver to back him up and stuff like that. But Freeman being in the league for 1 year, I think Kyle Shanahan's going to do a good job of using him, especially in a PPR league that we're in right now. So my price is a little heavy, is pretty high, is high on him, but not as much as the other guys. And I have to think offhand. I hate this is where the live thing sucks. Trying to think the other guys that he wanted. There's a little Justin Hunter talk.
All right.
But I don't know. Honestly, sorry, Mike. I can't remember those other guys that you wanted. You list off the whole roster. I just.
Yeah. I'm sure he might. You guys could probably take it offline in the comments too. But looks like just a few other comments from Mike. Just a few comments on what we were talking about, referring to Eric's team's Y'all Hurricane Druggy team. That seems appropriate. We'll see what happens with Des Bryant. I don't know if Eric's hoping that it's a domestic violence issue as opposed to drugs or alcohol. I don't know if he's leaning one way or the other. Or maybe he'll chime in on that at some point. Well, we've definitely gone over our 5 happy minutes, which is always okay. So we'd like to thank Derek, Team Ditka, for joining us this week. I guess I'll let everybody in. We did have another person lined up. I actually, surprising as it may seem, had Derek Lehman was scheduled to come on. He was going to be a guest along with Derek Newberta. He is in Wisconsin. He's having a little bit of issue with the timing. His work was getting in the way, frankly. But we did get him on for a test, and it worked out really well. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it on tonight, but we'll try and get him on because nothing would have made the show any better than having Lehman on with Newberta, because Newberta's been trying to get Lehman on one-on-one for a long time. So, but go ahead and say goodbye, Derek, and we'll send this thing off into the sunset.
Goodbye, everyone. Good luck. Hope to talk to you guys later.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed it. Send comments, send questions next time. Keep watching, and we'll be back at you hopefully next week, maybe the other week after. We'll see what happens. Once a week, once every other week. That's when we'll be here. But all right. Thanks for watching 5 Happy Minutes, and see you later.